In this series we have been talking about craft of writing, and today I have somebody with me who has practiced craft of writing, and some of the issues that we have been discussing he has tried to apply to his writing and produced a very successful manuscript, the first draft of a very successful manuscript. Mr. Sattvik Dass is an accomplished musician, and he has turned to writing in order to record his life story. So I'm going to ask him some questions, and hopefully this will be useful to some of you who are trying to write. He came to writing pretty late, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are in the late stages of their life who are thinking of writing. He provides a very good example of somebody who has accomplished something significant in the later stage of his life. Now, first question that I want to ask him is, what made you think that you had a story to tell?
Well, Professor, there was a dream. It was a dream, you know. Always I thought of relating my story to my people and my family members and the succeeding generations, because there are so many things I have encountered during my musical learning period which I wanted others to share. So this was one point, and the other point was which made me write something about the Qelelo Musical Club, which has done a lot of work for music in Fiji, not only for the country, but today if you see people from that club, or the members of that club are spread out throughout the world. And the third reason why I wanted to write something was the contribution I made coming from the farming community, and the struggle I had to go to India to learn music, and then after coming back, the kind of ups and downs I encountered, you know. Then apart from all this kind of struggle, I made a mark in music. I could teach students in secondary schools. Later on I became a lecturer of music at NTC and LTC, and then I wrote many songs which had become national sort of heritage, you can say it. And then I also sometimes preach a little on culture. So my story, the way I wanted to relate all these things in my family, so far nobody has done this. So I thought I was the first one to do something.
Now, you certainly have made a very significant mark on the music scene in Fiji and elsewhere. Now, the question that I would like to ask, and often ask myself, how is it that a little boy from Qelelo, how did that idea came to you, that inspiration came to you, that you would be able to become a musician instead of becoming a farmer or a school teacher? Because there's so many pressures which pull you down, and the time that you became a musician, artists were not highly regarded.
True, very true. But there was something in the family, like my grandmother. She was a very accomplished musician, and all my uncles and my parents, they inherited that cultural heritage from my grandmother, and my brothers, all of them, they are musically inclined, and 4 or 5 of us, we sing also. And talking about what made me go and learn music and become a musician, I had no idea. I used to love music. I used to enjoy playing the tabla, the drum, which really attracted me very much. So I used to go with my eldest brother, Subramani, and a few others, the Qelelo Club members. I used to play for them, and slowly people, they recognized my playing. And I was so fortunate in the 60s, perhaps it was 1961, when Swami Das came to Fiji. When he heard me playing the tabla, his disciple Hari Prasad was a very accomplished tabla player. He was the one who said to Swami Rudrananji from Ramakrishna Mission that here is one man who could do so much for music for this country, plus it can make this country, make him a very versatile musician. So that was the beginning. And from that time, sort of the seed was there, it started germinating within myself. And then I realized then and there that someday I can become a musician. But at that time, first I thought of, when they offered me a private scholarship, when they discussed with Swami Rudranan, that please send him to our academy in Sion, Bombay, where he can stay with us and we'll teach him all the good musical stuff, whatever it is, the traditional music, the tabla and singing, and also if he wishes to learn some other instruments. So that was just the beginning. That's how that's how I became a musician.
It's interesting that you have mentioned so many people. Now, I want you to talk about these characters because in writing, people made the story interesting. And you obviously met a lot of interesting people during your training as a musician.
Definitely. There are so many of them, like I used to love the film songs, and olden days, my uncle had this gramophone record thing, HMV record, gramophone record player. Then the 3-minute record, 3.25-minute records, We used to listen to cycle songs, KCJ, and N.L. Puri, Jagmohan, Jatika Roy, all these old artists, and I was impressed, and I was really got interested in their singing, like Pankaj Malik's songs, Chalepan Gichal, and that kind of songs and cycles, Jagdili Turiya. All these songs really attracted me. And later I started hearing the film songs sung by Mukesh, Manaje, Mohammad Rafi, and Mukesh became my favorite singer. I always remember कोई दिल में है, कोई ये नजरों में, मोहब्बत के सपने में किस पे लुटा हूँ. This wonderful song sung by Mukesh, and I should love this song.
Can you talk about the people that you met?
Yes.
Musicians?
Then when I went to India, the first pair of classical musicians I met were Narendra Vyas and Vinayak Patwardhan, because I used to listen to their songs in Fiji, and when I heard that they are performing close to my school, so I went to listen to them. They were the first ones. Later on, I met Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. Personally, I met these people, Bismillah Khan, and I've heard many Pandit Jasraj even. I used to go and play Tanpura with him for some of his recitals, because he was a very close friend of Swami Valandas. He used to come there and request Swamiji to send me to play Tanpura for him. Then Pandit Ravi Shankarji. Very interesting story. When I was returning from England, then I met Panditji on the Air India plane. So I made a point to sit with him and talk. Almost for 2-3 hours we sat together, and there are a lot of things he discussed with me. But before that I met him many times, but I didn't have a chance to talk to artists like that. And also the greatest violinist, he was passing through Fiji. Yehudi Menuhin is supposed to be the greatest violinist, a Jew. But he was passing through Fiji, going to New Zealand, and then the commissioner, Mr. Bhagwan Singh, arranged our meeting at the Tanawa Hotel. I forgot the date, and but the year was 74 or 75, but it was a privilege to meet him. And apart from these personalities, I've met many, I can go
There's a lot of these, personalities will emerge in your memoirs. I want to talk about the influence of place, because I talk a great deal about the importance of place in creative writing. I want you to talk about two places. One is Qelelo and the other India. How these two places shaped you as a musician?
It's very interesting, and sometimes when you want to compare a village to a country, it is so difficult. But I can tell you this much, my ancestors, they came from Nadi, from Andhra Pradesh. They settled in Qelelo after the agreement, and they were musically inclined. That's one thing. So they brought music from the roots. So it was our privilege of the children, because we inherited all these qualities from our parents and our family members. So when I went to India, there was a big opening for me. And what we have been doing in the village, in a very small level, we could do it in a better, what do you say, better level. Because we could see people how they perform and how they learn, a number of hours they devote in practice. And that made me really, get inspired to practice for long hours. When I was practicing the sitar, I used to sit down at one stretch 3 hours solid and sit down and practice for 3 hours. So that gave me sort of the real understanding of how to become a good musician, and to become a good musician, what sort of discipline you have to go through.
Now, as artists, things that happen to us in life, they shape our art, they shape our life profoundly. Now, I would like you to mention some events in your life which you think has had a lot of influence on the person you are and the musician that you have become.
The first thing I would mention is about my guru, Swami Hariprasad, when he came with Qelelo Das. When I saw him manipulating the tabla, because I was playing the tabla, I was really impressed, and it put me to sort of ecstasy. Whenever I used to listen to him, I used to feel that I'm in a different land, a different place. So he was the first one who has really impressed me and influenced me. Second, as I stated before, when I went and heard Vinayak Rao Patwardhan and Narayan Rao Vyas, then I realized what we have been hearing in 3¼ minute records is quite different when they perform for 1 hour or more than 2 hours at one stretch, one song. How they improvise, how they do it, with all sorts of rhythmic skills and other things. So, like that, these are the things which has really...
Can we talk about some personal events in your life which affected you deeply?
The time when I went to play in Auckland Festival in 1970, I was sponsored by the Fiji Arts Council to play for the Auckland Festival. That was the first time I played sitar in a major festival. And it was taken very well by the Europeans. Most of the crowd, they were Europeans there. And the next day when I saw my article coming in Auckland Star and New Zealand Herald, I was thrilled, Some sort of idea came to me that I can do better and better and better, That thing is really thrilled me.
What about personal events like marriage and children?
Of course, somebody I met in India, and I was dreaming to bring someone to help me in my music deliberations and sort of promoting Indian music in Fiji. Luckily, I met my wife, Shraddha, and then we got married. We had ups and downs. There was a problem to get married to, but finally, I won the battle. I wouldn't say the battle, but
maybe this one.
Yeah. So we came and we promoted. She sang so many beautiful songs, and it was promoted to FBC and other channels. And my sitar was also promoted. So like that, we have contributed tremendously to us.
And of course, the loss of your son was a
tragic
event.
He was also, when he was saying, I taught him tabla, and he was a great musician, I would say, because in many respects he was better than me. And today my younger son is also good. I taught him tabla, but now what he is doing in tabla, I can't do like him. So losing him was a blow. Out of the blue it came, and we were so helpless. That has really torn us apart, my wife and both of us. We were really for almost 3-4 years, we did not do any music. And we, we didn't feel like talking to people or singing. But time has taken care, and slowly we'll come back. Now, what I do mostly, I practice. I don't go out like I used to do before, singing in functions and things like that. But I sit down and practice for myself, and I want to keep up with my traditional music. The modern music also I like some, but other times I don't like the modern.
Can you turn to the actual writing process? You have just finished a manuscript, and we would like to know how long did it take you to complete that manuscript?
First of all, I would like to say that whatever I did, the craft thing, the musical craft, the ideas which were given to me by you, if you weren't there, perhaps I wouldn't have produced this manuscript, And like you said, whatever I have written in the book, it's your teaching, it's your guidance.
What is the important thing that you have learned in the process of writing?
I have learned that whenever I used to write, I used to only pass the information, and that's where you have corrected me. Not only the information, if you write something, you describe about the thing. Like if you're talking about a person, you describe that person. Or if you're talking about a place, don't simply say Qelelo, I come from Qelelo, and Qelelo is a sugarcane farming area. Not only that much. You describe what Qelelo is. So from you I have learned how to describe the river passing through Qelelo and how far it is from Nadi town, and what all things people do in Qelelo, and what were you doing in your childhood days, all those things. So those beautiful things, it was your guidance.
Do you think that the actual process of writing changed you in any way?
Definitely. I've learned so much, with my very little academic background. At one stage I thought I'll not write, I'll stop. But because of your guidance, and then because of my sort of, what you said, the urge of writing and relating my story really made me work hard and learn new things and words. There's so many English words I didn't know, but now I can relate those words nicely. Of course, I can express things better in Hindi, but still, it's all your blessings,
Now you brought certain qualities too, qualities of determination to get things done. And of course you have been one of the best pupils that I've had. Attended classes regularly, came to me every week. So there was that determination to complete the manuscript. Now the final question I want to ask is the process of writing and rewriting. Does that worry you, bother you when you have to write several times, seeing all the red marks on the page, and then having to go through that and improve that?
Definitely, but that has made me work hard and create new patterns in writing, And as a result, whatever you are reading today, whatever you are seeing in the manuscript is that hard work. And the kind of imagination you brought into me, that's commendable. And I can see things differently now. Because not only because I'm writing this book, even in my singing, I can see changes. Recently I sang one or two places, people they really admired. They said you're doing so well. So that was very encouraging.
The final question is, what is the title of the book, and when do you think it will be published?
I think the best thing I thought was autobiography is A Musical Journey. See, I'm still traveling in that area, so the journey is not completed. It's about 50 years of my musical journey. And then I think it will take another 5 to 6 months to get everything tidied up and then bring it to the public. So I hope that it will be ready within 6 or 7 months' time. And with your blessings, I think it will happen.
Thank you very much for that conversation. It is a remarkable example of somebody who came late to writing and achieved what he set out to achieve.
I must really thank you very much, and Satish, the organizer, my sincere thanks to both of you, and I hope this will interest people, those who will listen to us, and they will expect our fruits later.
Thank you very much.